Hey guys, so as many of you know, I just ran in a triathlon, my very first sprint triathlon this Saturday, and I've been so excited to recap it and tell you guys all about it since so many of you followed along with my training for the past 6 months, and I just want to tell you all about it. So let's do it. Alright, so here's a quick little backstory just to sort of lead up to this. Beforehand, I was like a self-proclaimed hater of running and endurance cardio and mainly all sorts of cardio, so I didn't run. My biking was just me with Lennon on the back of my bike. That's all I did for biking, and I have like zero swimming experience. My swimming is pretty dismal. I not lifeguarded, but did my bronze cross like 15 years ago. So that's about it. So I just decided I'm gonna do this. Why did I want to do this? I wanted to do this because it just seemed like a really good test of fitness, and I just want to be fit as fuck, basically. So that's why I decided to do it. So that's what got me started into this whole thing. So as you saw, many of you saw, I got there and I was nervous, and it was kind of like a shit show from the start. Not a shit show, but things were getting a little hairy. They announced straight away that we were going to go in the water with the guys. It was going to be everyone. It was men and women and relay sprint all in one. And it was like sooner than they said. So John had just left and he'd taken Lennon to go eat. My mom wasn't even there yet. She was coming to watch. I was kind of just sitting there on my own, and they're like, yeah, sprint people need to get ready in like 10 minutes. So I had to go pee. I had to go put my wetsuit on. I had to go put my bag away somewhere and do all this, jump in the water. I got a few strokes in. I was feeling really good. I'm like, okay, my breathing is good. I'm calm. This is gonna work great. Like, I can totally do this swim. The swim was the part I was so worried about. The swim was Alright, so we're all standing in the water. We're waiting. All of a sudden, I don't even have my goggles on, and I hear them counting down. I'm like, oh shit, and I put my goggles on. Of course, they're fogged up right away because I have not figured out how to unfog my goggles. I tried everything, you guys. I spit on them. I put them in the water. How do you fucking unfog goggles? Anyway, so I'm waiting there. Boom, the horn goes off, and there is arms and legs and people everywhere, and I just get caught up in it, and I start swimming with my head up, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to get in there, go. I should have been at the side or the back, and I fucking knew this, and I didn't do it. So swimming along, and then I'm like, okay, I got enough room. I've seen the feet come at my face, didn't get hit in the face. Swimming along, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my face in the water. I'm gonna start my front crawl, and I'm just cannot catch my breath. I'm like fucking hyperventilating. I guess I actually have anxiety issues in the water. Do you guys remember me talking about in my Instagram stories that one time about how I tried to swim in the lake and I couldn't catch my breath and I couldn't breathe and I was freaking out? Apparently it's a real thing with me. Apparently I have some sort of fucking water issues. So this happens at the very start of the race. And I was talking to my brother. He said it happens to him when he snorkels. And I remember this happening to me when I scuba dive. So I knew I had issues, but I didn't know it was fucking breathing in water related anxiety issues. So anywho, I'm breaststroking along without putting my face in the water because I can't. My breathing is like this for the entire swim. So I'm going like this, and probably 10 meters in, I'm just like, it went through my mind for 5 seconds. I was like, I can't do this. I have to stop. I have to get out and turn around. I'm not gonna make it. I have to quit. And then I was devastated. I just felt like, ugh. Someone had just ripped my heart out, and I was like, I'm gonna have to face the crowd on the beach standing right there. I'm gonna have to turn around and sadly walk out of the water and then tell all you guys I couldn't do it. I was just gutted. And then my brain kind of switched back to normal, and it's like, you can't fucking quit. You're gonna breaststroke this if you have to, and it might take you an hour, but you're gonna do it. And then, bing, fuck yeah, I am going to back crawl. So I flipped over, stared at the clouds, and I backstroked the shit out of that swim, you guys. That is how I got through it. I backstroked, and I'd flip over, do a little bit of this, look where I was going, go around to buoy, backstroke some more. I had to, I couldn't. I tried deep breathing. I don't know what this fucking issue is, but I hyperventilated for 20 minutes straight. It started to slow down towards the end. I guess my mind's like, oh, you're actually safe. We're getting out of the water. And I could front crawl a small amount. And then I start climbing out of the water, and I'm so fucking dizzy because I've been breathing like an animal for 20 minutes straight, plus swimming. So my plan was to run out of the water. I staggered out of the water, up onto the side, finally catching my bearings. The world stopped spinning a little, so I started ripping off my wetsuit, and then we run to my bike. So I'm feeling a little better, drying off. You rip everything off. I put my shirt on with my number, and put my shoes on, my helmet, grab my bike, and I'm going. So then I'm on to the biking part. Survived the swim. I was just so ecstatic that I was out of the water because that was just brutal, you guys. For your bike, you have to walk it until you get to a certain line or you get a penalty. And you also can't, like, you have to have your helmet done up and everything if you get penalized for that as well. So walked it to the spot, jumped on my bike, got going, and it felt good. I was like, yes, this is my time. Like, I'm gonna catch up. And I'm pedaling my little heart out. I felt like I was flying. People are fucking blowing by me. Just gone. Here's the thing with the bike. I did good on the bike. I beat my own personal time. That counted transition too, so I went pretty quick on the like, you know, quicker than I did. Like, I took a whole minute or more off of when I previously did this bike because I actually went the course before on my own. And so that was good. I think I needed a little more endurance practice, but I also, and I'm not saying this as an excuse, but I really do think a better bike is gonna help me so much because there was people passing me on the downhill. Like, my bike, I'm like, I swear I'm in the lowest gear, and my legs are like, ee, like I can't go any slower, and these people are just like slow pedaling, flying down the hill. Like, they could just put themselves in the lowest gear and just like, they were just blowing by me, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. But you know what? The squats paid off, guys, because my uphill climb was fucking tits. So people would blow by me, then we'd hit a hill, then I'd chug past them just like nothing, just and then, you know, we'd get to a straightaway and they'd fucking blow by me again. I'd never see them again. But one lady decked out in her tri stuff, in her fucking $10,000 bike or whatever it was, told me I had an impressive uphill climb. So that is where my game's at. I know what I needed to work on there. And I definitely want to save for a bike. So yeah, I make it through the bike. People pass me, that's okay. I was feeling good. I did good. I was feeling much better, recovered from my fucking swim. So I jump off the bike. John's there yelling for me because he's awesome. So I looked for him every time I came into transition, him and my family. And so I run my bike in there. All I have to do is ditch my bike, take off my helmet, and I'm ready to go. So I start the jog, and it's actually feeling good. Like, I'm tired, but it felt pretty good. And it's going good. High five John on the way out. Super pumped. And tragedy strikes again. I get a goddamn cramp. Like, not just a cramp, you can push through. I tried pushing through, and it was like someone was knifing their way out of my stomach. It hurt so fucking bad. I was so devastated once again. Oh, I was so angry. So I'm running along, then I gotta walk. So pissed off. My goal was to not walk any of the runs. So I'm walking, and I run, and then I walk, and then I run. And this is like fucking digging into my time. I'm so mad. So I saw this guy massaging his calf, and I'm just like, all right. So I just started like rubbing my stomach as hard as I could, jogging with one arm, rubbing with the other, jogging with one arm, rubbing with the other, and I jogged the rest of it. It worked. I just kept going, and then I was passing people. The jog was by far the easiest for me, and I could have done so well. I was so angry that I had that fucking cramp. So I was just passing people after that. And as you're running too, it's so awesome because you run by like all the cabins, and people sit outside their cabins and they're like, yeah, and they cheer every single person that goes by. Like, it's such an amazing atmosphere. Even on the bike, like, people are blown by me, but they're like, good job, I like your shirt, way to go. Thanks, ladies. Like, fuck, you guys are awesome. So, crazy awesome atmosphere. So I'm jogging and massaging, and then this one lady's like, you only have about 800 meters to go, you're almost there. Like, this one cabin lady, and I'm like, fuck yeah, so pumped. I'm like, I'm doing this, I'm finishing this fucking race. So running up, and then I see John and Lennon. Oh, it actually makes me want to cry. I was so fucking happy. But I was so happy to see them. waiting for me there. Oh, I'm such a pansy. Look at me. Anyway, they were right at the end, and I was just ecstatic to be done. This is how I visualized it, like them waiting for me running towards the finish line, except passing way more people in a better place. And then I run across the finish line and I see the time and it says 2 hours, 32 minutes. I'm just like, fuck me, no. Like, got it again. Like, so many emotions. I just felt like my insides were ripped out. I'm like, no way it took me 2.5 hours. Like, is that for real? So I'm just like feeling like shit. I'm not even happy that I finished even more. I was just like, did that seriously take me 2.5 hours? And so everyone's like, my family comes over and they're all awesome. They're like, congrats, like you did it. We're so proud of you. We're so happy for you. And I'm just like, yeah, I should have just fucking walked around like a tool for 2.5 hours. Like that's like, why would it take me so long? So anyway, I'm kind of like, you know, moping in my self-pity. And then you can go to this booth and you type in you wear a little chip thing on your ankle so it tracks your time, and as you get out of the water you cross over this like sensor thing, so then it restarts the time and that counts as your bike ride, and then as you come back in you go over another sensor and it starts again for your run, so it knows your entire time plus how long it took you to swim, bike, and run. And so you type in your chip number and it spits out your times. And so my time, you guys, I beat my goal. My goal was to make it in under 2 hours. I did not want to go over 2 hours or be around 2 hours. It was 1 hour and 47 minutes. So I was happy with that. For my very first sprint triathlon, I was pretty pumped once I saw that. So the time that I had seen was the time for the entire race since it started. So the Olympic people started before us, so that's what it was timing, was when the very first people had started. And so my dismal swim ended up being about 21 minutes. Not terrible, but my bike was 54 and my run was 31, which fuck my run, like I could have done that faster. But I mean, I did it and I am happy about that. And as you can tell, if you haven't figured it out already, yes, I want to do this again. I am so driven. And all these, as you know, like going through this, like listening to me, I'm like talking about how angry I was at parts of this. That anger, I'm so happy for it. I'm so happy that I didn't place that well, because it's really fueling me. Because I have like, 12 months to go now where I need to keep myself motivated. I am completely driven by negative emotion. As shitty as that sounds, it works for me so well, and I know that I can think back to like how bad I placed, or you know, how something didn't work out, or how I want to work on something. And on those cold winter days when I'm supposed to be out running and, you know, or making it to the pool or sitting in the garage on the bike and I really don't want to, that's going to make me go do it. So I am so pumped for this. Oh, I should tell you guys, so this is my placing. I really hope you're not expecting me to tell you how amazing I placed in this race, because I did not. My final placing, there was 184 sprint triathletes altogether. That's men and women. I got 153. Out of my age group, the 30 to 34 year olds, I got 14th out of 15. Fuck. I'm pretty like embarrassed by those scores and not happy with them at all. Which I know like many of you are gonna be like, you did it, that's awesome. Nah, I could do better. I'm so excited because I'm not happy with how I did, so that's really gonna drive me. And I know that I can crush my time from this year. So I'm definitely excited to do this again. My goals for next year they're huge. They're like to cut my times in half, which is, I know as a beginner you have a bit more, you take bigger leaps of progress in the beginning, so I might still have like, you know, some bigger progress I can make off the bat, but as you get better and better, it gets harder and harder to shave that time off. So I got a lot of work to put in and a lot to do, which I think I can do. Now I know how it goes. I gotta figure out how to control my weird water anxiety shit I got going on, you know, because like if I hyperventilate for the second year in a row, like I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I got a lot to work on, and thanks guys for listening. It was a blast. Thank you for all the good lucks and the well wishes and everyone that cheered me on and everything. You guys, like when I was in the water there, seriously, I thought of all of you. I was like, I'm gonna have to tell my Instagram fam and everyone like, so I got in the water and I basically got back out and didn't do it. Like I was like, fuck, I can't do that. So thank you for being behind me. Thank you for watching all of this. Thank you for all the well wishes and keeping me on track and just believing in me. It means more than you know, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you for watching this. And I can't wait to, give you a new update in a year's time on my new place in the triathlon. Whoop! Okay, talk to you guys later.